920D. I think I said that right. Yeah, 920D custom Brent Mason wire and harness Nashville state-up pickups. Running through a Fractal FM9, through a Boss Katana. Speaker emulation's cut off. Here we go. That's with the tone all the way down. Here's the middle and bridge together. It's got the little blend knob. Here's just the middle. Here's the middle and neck. And here's just the neck. So yeah, what's my opinions on them? I'll just be very blunt. I'm not a fan of them. And the reason is like, and it's just kind of not right for me to compare it to my Brent Mason Telecaster, but I'm going to. I had a Brent Mason Telecaster like a year ago, and I actually done this a year and a half ago. So it's not something like I've just done last week. I've had this for a while done, and the blend knob doesn't work the way that it's supposed to what I was thinking. I mean, it may work the way they designed it, but just the way I was thinking in my brain, that it just don't work right. Just what I mean by that, like, it's just like that last 1/8 inch of a turn, maybe. I mean, you can see right there. And that's when that engages. On the Brent Mason model, it engages just as quick as you do that. This is done coming in, you can hear it. And that's what I thought it was going to do. And you can EQ this a little bit too. You might find your own EQ, and which is a pretty cool thing to do. But like I said, this one does not work that way. I think these are like $390 now, something to that degree. And I'm not saying you're getting a horrible deal, because you do grains, you do to get the pick guard and everything's done put in. You get the wire and harness with it's done banded on a plate, a 3-way switch. And obviously, like at face value, it is like the Brent Mason model. It's 3 knobs, a tone knob, push pull. I will say this about it. This is kind of cool. When you pull this out and you engage that middle pickup, it kind of gives it like an acoustic, a very acoustic vibe, and I do like that. I do like that feature. I think it does sound pretty cool, but as far as my pros and cons go, I've got more cons versus pros. And you do get a pretty good jack with it. It's like I think a four locking. Like, I think it goes. That's in there again, and there's the last one. So it goes in pretty stiffly and comes out pretty stiffly. It's not going to pull out on stage like if you step on it, it will, but it's not going to fall out just all by itself. Another reason I don't much care for these is they're very harsh. The bridge pickup especially. Which I know a lot of Telecaster pickups do that. They've all got their discrepancies. They're all kind of harsh or something. These are like kind of over the top harsh. They're not the harshest I've ever played, but they're like they're up there. And fundamentally, you have to do like what everybody else does. Roll your tone knob back to get a good tone. There's a set screw here that I know where kind of the sweet spot is. Just by playing it. Like I said, I've had this thing for over a year and a half, and I've put my time in with it playing it. But like, here's with the tone knob rolled back where I think it needs to be. see, it warmed it up and it makes it sound just, fries a bit better. Not saying they're bad pickups, not, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. And particularly, I don't much care for them. I'm going to probably shoot another video here in just a minute explaining, I build another Brent Mason's Hellcat. I'll go down the road on that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of them. Just keep in mind, if you go to buy them, they are harsh. Don't think that they're a warm sounded pickup, because they're not. They're a Telecaster pickup, and they're pretty pretty snap, or not really snappy, just like piercing on the ear. And that was just a whole fun thing that I didn't much care for. I've put so much money into this guitar, swapping out pickups, putting stuff in that I got to this point and I said, I'm not going to do anything else to it, because what's the point? I think right now I'm like over $800 something in it. I mean, that's me buying the guitar and doing all the work to it. So I think I've actually got this guitar sold for a lot less than what I've got into it. I'll say that. But it is what it is. You live and learn. That's the whole thing about guitar playing and stuff. Your tone never really stays the same. You're always finding something new. At least I am. So yeah, just remember, guys, that's what you're looking at. Like I said, I'm not throwing wrenches at 920D. But at least they do offer this. I will give them that. There's a lot of places that don't offer this. You got to buy it. Offer it as a set. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Until next time, keep it cracking.